We don't believe in low carb diets around here. So those midnight munchies, yum, 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 yum. I don't have that on lock. That needs to go first. Hey guys, so today we will be talking all about intermittent fasting. I've gotten so many questions about intermittent fasting because I have sporadically said on Instagram that I do intermittent fasting sometimes. So in this video, we're gonna break it down and talk about how it works and whether it's even a good fit for you, because intermittent fasting is certainly not for everybody and it doesn't work in the way a lot of people think it works. So we're gonna talk about all of that in this video. But if you are new here, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Vicky. I have been on YouTube for a very long time. I'm a YouTube veteran, okay? And I am all about making working out and fitness enjoyable and achievable for everybody. So it's all about making home workouts fun and making healthy eating attainable and enjoyable. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I want to preface this video by mentioning that anybody with a history of disordered eating should not be partaking in intermittent fasting or any kind of dieting, because the priority here is building a good and healthy relationship with your body, with yourself, with food, with health and nutrition. And a lot of the times, if you are prone to disordered eating, a lot of these kind of diets or ways of eating can exacerbate that problem. You like that word, exacerbate? They can exacerbate that problem and make it worse. So you really want to prioritize having a good relationship with your body. And if you're gonna do this, you wanna make sure you do it for the right reasons. So we're not doing this trying to stay fit and healthy or doing intermittent fasting because we hate our bodies. We're doing it because we love our bodies and we wanna reach our goals and show love to our bodies. So what is intermittent fasting? So the most popular way to do intermittent fasting is every single day you fast for a certain amount of time and you eat during a certain time block. So the most popular intermittent fasting time block is 8-16, where you eat during an 8-hour window and you fast for the rest of the day for those 16 hours. Now, if you are sleeping 8 hours a day, this is really not that difficult to achieve. You just don't eat for the first 4 hours of waking up and you don't eat for 4 hours before bed. It doesn't have to be this way, but I'm just trying to put it in perspective and show you an example. Now, a lot of people have this misconception that with intermittent fasting, during the 8-hour window or whatever window you have, you can eat whatever the heck you want and you will not gain weight and you will hit all your fitness goals. And this is simply not true, okay? No kind of diet will defy the laws of thermodynamics. Your calories in has to be less than your calories out in order for you to lose weight. If you eat more than you burn, your body will store all that energy as fat. Or hopefully some of it will go to muscle if you are trying to gain muscle. But it is very important to understand that this is not some kind of quick fix or some kind of magic pill. So let's talk about intermittent fasting and how it works. So the idea behind intermittent fasting is, one, shortening the window of when you can eat makes it a lot more likely that you will be in a caloric deficit. It makes it less likely that you will overeat and be in a caloric surplus. And number two, you make it a little bit more likely that your body will use fat for energy versus glucose. So on a regular day where you're constantly feeding yourself and feeding your body relies on that energy, on those sugar stores to do anything for any kind of activity. Now, when you fast, your body taps into the glucose, but once the glucose runs out, the body taps into the fat for energy. And this is something called metabolic switching, when your body starts relying on fat when the glucose stores run out. So most people use intermittent fasting for fat loss or for weight maintenance. I wouldn't really recommend this for muscle growth, because really for muscle growth, like if you're trying to get those booty gains, your goal should be, one, of course, to challenge your muscles, but two, to be in a caloric surplus. So all those extra calories go towards building your muscles, and shortening the time window where you can eat make it a little bit harder to hit a caloric surplus. But if your goal is maintenance or fat loss, then intermittent fasting can help you reach those goals. Notice how I said help, not do all the work for you. It simply helps. So let's go back to point number one, where I talk about shortening that time window. Now, this is important, especially if you are someone who struggles with snacking, or you just have, like, you know, those midnight munchies, because I certainly get those, okay? Those midnight munchies when you're watching Netflix and you just wanna yum, 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 you know? So since you're limited to when you can eat, it makes it a lot less likely that you will do that. It also helps you become more aware and more mindful with your meals, because you really have to plan out your meals and make sure they are fulfilling and nutritious. Since you are only eating in 8 hours, you don't want to be like starving the rest of the time. And that is also very, very important, to make sure your meals are really balanced. So lots of carbs, fats, and protein to keep you full, and a lot of nutrients to keep you feeling fulfilled for the rest of the day. Intermittent fasting is also a great approach for people who want to lose weight, but they don't really want to count their calories. So this is a little bit easier than counting calories. You can just, shorten the time window when you can eat and keep it simple. However, remember that you can still be in a caloric surplus with intermittent fasting depending how much you eat and what it is that you eat. So this is not a fix-all, but it does make it more likely that you will stay in a caloric deficit. So I will give you guys a few examples of how I incorporate intermittent fasting into my life. I also just filmed yesterday a video on what I eat in a day with intermittent fasting, so you guys can kind of see it in action. And also I do share more of what I eat and my day-to-day life over on my Instagram accounts. Well, actually I share most of my day-to-day life on my main account on Vicky Justiz. So if you want to give me a follow there, you can absolutely do that. We can be friends. And my fitness account is also more for like workout tips. I share my workout videos, workout clips in there. So these are really, two good pages to follow. So I don't do intermittent fasting all the time. I really focus on doing intermittent fasting during periods where I want to lose a little bit of fat, or I'm having trouble like maintaining my weight, or when I'm not able to be as active. So it just helps me naturally bring my calories intake down, which just balances everything out. So typically for me, it is a lot easier to skip breakfast. I don't wake up super hungry in the mornings, but I do like having my dinner later. So I try to make my 8-hour window from like 12 to 8 or from 1 to 9. So that's just something that suits me. Now, obviously I'm not waking up at 5 in the morning. If you're waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning, it might be very difficult to wait until 12 or 1 o'clock to eat. You just have to kind of adjust that time window to what suits your lifestyle. But for me specifically, I wake up at around 8:30-ish. I drink water. Water is very important because you wake up dehydrated, okay? So I drink a lot of water. I, do my skincare routine. I, just get started on my work day, and it's kind of easy for me to not have breakfast at all. Now, when I am doing workouts in the morning, I do break my fast to have some BCAAs. Even though BCAAs have a little bit of calories, for me, it's more important that I give my workouts my all and perform well during my workouts, and BCAAs help me do that, especially when I'm in a fasted state. So BCAAs basically write muscles to your energy like instantly, because they're kind of like the building blocks of protein, amino acids are, but BCAAs specifically get delivered to your muscles right away. So I will take that in the mornings if I'm doing a workout. So even whether I'm doing a weighted workout or I'm going on a run, BCAAs are super duper helpful, and it's only 16 calories per scoop, so it's really not that much at all. And it also helps satisfy my sweet tooth, so it actually helps me not crave sweets as much. For my weighted workouts, I try not to do them in the mornings when I'm doing intermittent fasting. I try to schedule them for right before lunch so I can have my lunch right after. But for me, the ideal time is to do them right before dinner, because I have that energy from lunch to really, give my workout my all, and then I'm gonna have dinner right after to fuel the booty gains. So anyway, all right, so I don't really eat until lunchtime, and for me lunchtime is usually around 12 or 12:30, and I try to have a really big balanced meal since it's my first meal of the day. So as I mentioned before, lots of carbs. We don't believe in low carb diets around here, so lots of carbs, but lots of healthy fats and protein as well. And I usually try to make my lunches more veggie heavy, like lighter. I don't want to eat something too heavy, because then I'm sleepy after lunch, like really sleepy. So just lots of veggies, but still lots of proteins and carbs as well. On a normal day where I don't really do intermittent fasting, many of you might have seen from previous what I eat in a day videos that I don't really snack a lot. Like, I'm not really a big snacker. I just focus on my meals and that's it. But with intermittent fasting, since our time window is a lot smaller to eat our food, I do have a snack between lunch and dinner. So that snack is usually fruits, dark chocolate. I always have my tea, my afternoon tea, to wake me up, or I have like an iced coffee. It really just depends how hungry I am, but my meals are usually pretty filling. So I'll have my afternoon tea around 2 hours after lunch, or if I'm going to be doing a workout, then I'll have a pre-workout or my amino and energy, depending how intense my workout's gonna be. And then it's usually dinner time around 7:30 or 8, and for dinner I like to save my biggest meal for last. Okay, so my dinners are usually, especially with intermittent fasting, is a lot, okay, a lot. Although in yesterday's video, what I eat in a day, my dinner wasn't as big, my lunch was bigger. But usually for dinner, I save like my pasta dishes, like my really carb heavy dishes are usually saved for dinner because that's when I relax and unwind, have a glass of wine, watch some Netflix, you know, just relax. And almost always, whether I'm intermittent fasting or not, I have a dessert after dinner because I love dessert. For me, like life is about dessert. So whether it's a few scoops of Ben & Jerry's ice cream or a brownie or something that I baked, I always have dessert after dinner. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just have water until I go to bed. Usually my bedtime is around midnight. So for me, it's not that hard. It's like not eating from 9 p.m. to midnight. It's not a big deal. I will have some sleepy time tea or chamomile tea before bed. And that's pretty much my whole day. Then we wake up the next morning at around 8 and we do it all over. Intermittent fasting also makes things a little bit easier for me because it's less meals that I have to like think about and prepare. So I have more time to just focus on work. So instead of having more meals throughout the day, I'm having less meals but bigger portions of them. And it helps keep me on track because I tend to get the midnight munchies like I mentioned. And I think it's a great tool when you understand how it works and you understand that you need to do this together with, you know, staying active and being in a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight, but also respecting your body, loving your body, and doing this for the right reasons. This can help you achieve your goals, but it's not gonna do it for you. And like I said, the priority really is having a good relationship with your body and with yourself. So if you don't have that on lock, that needs to go first. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Oh my God, I've been talking for some time now. Sorry about that. But stay tuned for the what I eat in a day video because I think that will also be really helpful for you to see. But please remember that what I eat in a day is just one day and it will vary from day to day. I've been telling myself I'm gonna film a what I eat in a week video, but life keeps getting crazy and I keep forgetting. So yeah. It's getting a little crazy. Next week, we have a huge announcement coming regarding Daily Thrive app. Like, it's huge. That's what I've been working on this whole time. That's why I've kind of been missing on YouTube a little bit. So hopefully it's worth it and you guys like the announcement we have because it's pretty big news. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know if this video was helpful for you. Let me know if you've tried intermittent fasting before and if you liked it when you tried it. And let me know if there's any other topics you want me to make a video on next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.